Ooh, okay, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I am Nate, and if you watch my show, you're in my corner. Today's episode is a post-fight show for UFC Ultimate Fighter 21 finale. Team Black Zillions versus Team American Top Team. And yeah, this finale is one of the greatest finales of all time. The season was okay, but the finale is what really stole the show. Every fight top to bottom was just explosive, exciting. You may have had a couple so-so prelim matches, but towards the tail end of the prelims it started to pick up, and when you got to the main card it just exploded. And yeah, so this is the post-fight show for the main card. Let's get started. To kick off the main card, we had a catchweight bout, which was originally a featherweight bout, with Maximo Blanco and Mike De La Torre. And man, did I get this one pretty correct. Maximo Blanco, he got TKO punches round 1 in 16 seconds. It was a great fight. As you all know, I love explosive, exciting, quick fights. Those are my favorite because they're easy to break down and they get straight to the point. So yeah, Maximo Blanco. Yeah, there was controversy with the stoppage, but yeah, I think Mike, you know, he looked like he looked out for a second, so I could see why the ref stopped this fight. And Maximo Blanco, you know, he got the victory and he did his thing. So good job, Maximo Blanco. There's not a whole lot to say about this. It was only 16 seconds. Yeah, TKO punches. Good job, Maximo. Yeah, then the next fight on the main card was a women's strawweight bout with Michelle Waterson and Angela Magana. And this one, I knew it played out pretty much the way I thought it would. They're both pretty well skilled fighters, but I knew that Michelle Waterson was just the slightly more skilled fighter overall. And sure enough, she looked fairly good in the stand-up, and then she looked insanely good on the ground. And yeah, she got round 3 submission. It was a rear naked choke. She flattened her out, and it was a great fight. Angela hung in there for the first 2 rounds. It wasn't like a total wipeout. I mean, she put up a good fight. There was some good punches thrown in the stand-up, and then when it got to the ground, Angela was doing a good job defending on the bottom for quite some time. And then round 3, she was able to, Michelle was able to wear her out and flatten her out and sink in that rear naked choke. And yeah, Michelle Waterson, former Invicta atomweight champion of the world, she wins her UFC debut. It was an amazing performance. Good job, Michelle. All you guys can see my picture with Michelle on my Facebook page. She's a nice lady. Yeah, Nate Craig on Facebook. Yeah, she you know, got a good late finish in that third and final round. Then also on the main card, we had a welterweight clash with Jorge Masvidal and Cesar Ferreira. And yeah, Cesar, his chin has always been in question, and Jorge Masvidal, he's the total package. It's one of those, it just, you know, will he get the knockout, will he get the submission, or will he get a decision if he's going to win? I mean, this guy, you know, if when he comes in to win, and you know he's fighting a guy that he can beat him. I mean, it's, you know, when Jorge fights a top 5, top 10 ranked guy, then, you know, it's a coin toss, it's anyone's game. But outside of the top 10, you know, I would not count Jorge out. This guy is a veteran. He's fought for the Strikeforce title in the lightweight division. Now he moved up to welterweight. And yeah, Jorge Masvidal, he got a knockout. They were clinching in the first round, and then Jorge was up against the cage, and then he's able to push off Cesar, and then Cesar falls on the ground. And then Jorge Masvidal lands some strikes in top position and just tees off on Cesar and gets the knockout victory. That was officially KO elbows and punches in the first round, so good job Jorge Masvidal. That was a great welterweight welterweight showcase for Jorge, who usually fights at lightweight. So good job, Jorge, and can't wait to see more of you at welterweight. Then also in the welterweight division, also on the main card, we had Michael Graves versus Vicente Luque, and yeah, this one was pretty much the way I thought. Vicente, he's hard to knock out, he's hard to submit, he's just hard to finish overall. And Michael Graves seemed, he didn't seem like that much of a finisher on the season of Ultimate Fighter, so I figured that he would probably win by unanimous decision on this one, and that's exactly what happened. He got takedowns, he landed some good strikes, and he controlled the top position when he did get the takedowns a lot. He dominated for most of the rounds on the top position. And yeah, Michael Graves, it wasn't the most impressive victory, but it was a dominant victory, and it helps kick off his UFC career at 1-0. So good job, Michael Graves. He won. It was easily, yeah. That third round was kind of, Vicente may have gained some momentum there as Michael started to gas out a little bit, but yeah, Michael easily won the first 2 rounds, and he won 29-28 unanimous decision across the board. So good job, Michael Graves. Then also in the welterweight division, also on the main card, we had Kamaru Usman versus Haider Hassan. Yeah, this one, Kamaru Amasu, he won second round, arm triangle choke, and that kind of surprised me because I thought Usman would wear out Hassan in the first couple rounds with the takedowns, and then Hassan would be so busy trying to get back up, he would wear out his cardio would wear out by the third round, and then Usman would knock him out. But well, I didn't realize Usman has some really good textbook jiu-jitsu skills. Yeah, so he got the takedown in round 3 and then worked in or round 2, and he got 1 minute and 19 seconds into the second round, got that arm triangle choke. So good job, Usman, and Blackzilians win on the finale. So happy there, happy to see the Blackzilians win, because I was rooting for them throughout the beginning of the season. I wasn't sure who to root for in the season, and then 2 or 3 episodes into the season, I was like, you know what, I'll root for Blackzilians. I like Rashad Evans, I like Alistair Overeem, who's trained at Blackzilians, and I like Glenn, the head guy over at Blackzilians. So yeah, Glenn seems like a cool guy who cares about his fighters. So yeah, great job, Usman, on getting that victory and going 1-0 in the welterweight division in the UFC, kicking off your UFC career. Then we went to the main event, the veteran versus veteran, striker versus grappler, and old school versus new school, and old school in Jake Ellenberger versus the newer guy in the UFC, not necessarily younger, but newer guy in the UFC, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, in the welterweight division, clash of the ages. Main event, yeah, this was pretty much the way I thought it was. Jake Ellenberger went for takedowns, wasn't too successful, got a little worn out. Then Stephen Thompson was able to keep the distance and eventually land some flashy kicks and punches. And yeah, he got it. It was towards the tail end of round 1. It was officially a knockout. Spinning hook kick and punches. Pretty much the way I thought this fight would turn out. Yeah, he kept the distance and landed that. He was rocking Stephen was rocking Jake Ellenberger throughout the first part of the round. Then the last part of the round, he lands this and gets the victory. So there you have it. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson defeats Jake Ellenberger. Main event, 4 minutes 29 seconds into the first round. Good job, Stephen. I can't wait to see more of him. He's always fun to watch. And Jake Ellenberger, well, you know, I hope you're okay. I hope that knockout didn't do too much damage. Keep your head up. You're a good training partner for your fellow fighters. You're a good fighter still, and just whatever you decide to do, keep your head up. Yeah, so there you have it. That's my post-fight show for Ultimate Fighter 21 finale. Stay tuned for my next episode, which will be a pre-fight for Amir versus Duffy. Until then, see ya.